Good day, student. Once again, you are welcome to class. Today, we will be looking at Public Administration 1. In public administration, we have 1, 2, 3. Public Administration 1, emphasis on civil service. Our learning objectives in this class are as follows. We will be defining civil service. We will be looking at the structure or classes of civil service. We will also be looking at the features or characteristics of civil service. Beginning with the first goal or the first objective in this class, civil service is a body of employees that are responsible for the planning, giving of advice, and implementing policies in government ministries and departments. The body of employees that are responsible for planning, for advice giving, and implementation of policies in the ministries and departments of government. That is the meaning or definition of civil service. It is also pertinent to note that the employees are called civil servants. The employees in civil service are called civil servants. Now, the structure or classes of civil service, which is our second learning objective. From top to bottom, we have administrative class as the highest class in civil service. And this administrative class comprises of senior civil servants. Senior civil servants are the highest cadre in civil service, and they are responsible for the organization and coordinating the activities in the ministry. They organize and coordinate the activities in the ministry. For anyone to be recruited into this class, the person must obtain a university degree certificate or its equivalent, like the higher national diploma. One could be employed into this cadre. Not just that, there must be a written and competitive examination conducted by the body in charge of civil service, known as Civil Service Commission. Also, there must be interview conducted for someone to be employed into this cadre. Example of those in this category are people like the directors, the deputy directors, and assistant directors in the ministries fall under administrative class. The next class or structure of civil service is known as the executive class. It's known as the executive class. This class of civil servants are mostly known for their functions, which is implementation of policies and programs of ministries and departments of the government. They are in charge of implementation. Whatsoever policy that has been made, probably from the administrative class, are being implemented by the executive class. In this class comprises civil servants like chief, the executive officers, the senior executive officers, senior technical officers, and so on. The next in the cadre is the professional class. The professional class. Just as the name implies, professional. So this class of officers are recruited as a result of their specialized training. They must have been trained in certain area, and their recruitment will be based on those areas where they've acquired training. It could be scientific, it could be technical, or in other relevant knowledge areas. Those in this cadre include the lawyers, the medical doctors, the engineers, the architects, the teachers. We too are professionals. Yes, the teachers that have acquired relevant teaching training would also be employed into this cadre of civil servants. Qualification into this professional class is basically tertiary institutions. You must acquire the minimum of a degree or a higher national diploma in relevant department. Then we have the clerical class. We have the clerical class. The clerical class consists of workers in the ministry or government departments like the typists, though these days the typists are no longer common, following the phasing out of typewriters. Okay? Then we have the clerical officers, we have the secretaries in this particular department. Now, going below, we have the auxiliary class. We have the auxiliary class. The auxiliary class are, those in this class are the lowest cadre in the civil service structure. Okay? They include civil servants like the cleaners, the drivers, the messengers, and so on. That forms the category of people in the auxiliary class of the civil servants. The next we are considering is the features or characteristics of the civil service. The first one we are looking at is permanent. The first one is permanent. Civil service is permanent, and that implies that government will come and go. Government will come and go, while the civil servant or civil service will remain constant. Before the coming of this administration, civil service has been in existence. And even during the military regime, civil service has been in existence. So it remains while the government changes. Okay? So it also implies that the establishment is permanent. The establishment is permanent. And the employees enjoy what we call security of employment. They don't have tenure like elected politicians or maybe appointees. but they enjoy full tenure till they retire. The next one is neutrality. Neutrality, just as the name implies, neutral. This means that the civil service or civil servants are meant to be politically neutral. That is to say, irrespective of the government of the day, the civil service is meant to work with the government of the day, no matter the party. They are meant to be neutral. Not just in politics, but also in the discharge of their duties. That will take us to the next one, impartiality. Impartiality. Civil servants are meant to be impartial in the discharge of their duties. So this means that it doesn't matter the tribe or religion of anyone they are meant to attend to before they can give the person all the necessary attention. Impartiality. We also have another character known as anonymity. Anonymity. Here, it implies that civil servants neither take praises or blame of any failure or successes recorded in their department or ministry. You may want to know why. We will get there. Also, they are not meant to disclose government or information concerning their department or ministry without the authorization of the minister. Also, they are not meant to appear before the press without the authorization of the minister. No wonder oftentimes we hear from anonymous source. Okay, the next one is expertise. Expertise. Civil servants are experts in their field. They are meant to be experts in their field and relevant department. Reason being that recruitment is done. Recruitment is done on merit system. Okay? Then we have bureaucracy. We have bureaucracy. That is to say, in civil service, there is strict adherence. There is strict adherence to rules and regulation. Even though people say that this strict adherence causes unnecessary delay in implementation of policies, but it is one of their characteristics, strict adherence to rules and regulation. That can also be called red tapeism. Yes, haven't been in this class, I am convinced that you should be able to define civil service. And also, you should be able to explain at least 3 structures or classes of civil service. And also, you should be able to explain 3 features or characteristics of civil service. Join me again in the next class when we will be concluding this topic till we meet again. Thank you for your audience. I remain Ugboko Nicholas.